Scheana Shay, best known for her role on Vanderpump Rules, has made a deeply personal revelation that has left many fans stunned and sympathetic. In a candid interview with Glamour, Scheana opened up about a painful betrayal she experienced at one of the most vulnerable times in her life, while she was pregnant with her daughter, Summer Moon. According to Scheana, her husband, Brock Davies, confessed to having cheated on her 2 years earlier, back when they were living in San Diego during the pandemic. This shocking admission came around the same period in 2023 when rumors were swirling about Brock's alleged involvement with Scheana's former co-star Raquel Leviss. Reflecting on that moment, Scheana said, "I remained in a state of paralyzed shock as he confessed that he cheated on me 2 years prior, when we were living in San Diego during the pandemic, while I was pregnant with Summer." Even before Brock's confession, Scheana had been haunted by rumors dating back to the early days of their relationship in 2019. The gossip suggested that Brock had been seeing another woman at the same time he was pursuing Scheana. Disturbingly, it was alleged that this mystery woman had even helped Brock pack for his trip to Australia, the same trip during which Scheana and Brock officially became a couple. It also alleged that she had helped him pack for the Australia trip where we made our relationship official, prompting her to cut ties with him, Scheana explained. Despite these troubling whispers, when Scheana confronted Brock about the rumor, he denied it. The truth finally surfaced on what had otherwise been a normal evening for the couple. Scheana described how they had just finished an amazing day together and were about to unwind by watching an episode of Real Housewives of New Jersey. But before she could press play, Brock stopped her. "Right before I pressed play, Brock told me to put down the remote because he needed to talk to me about something important," she recalled. What followed changed everything. Brock confessed that with all the false stories circulating online, he feared that something that was actually true might come to light, and he felt Scheana deserved to hear it directly from him rather than reading about it somewhere else. As Scheana listened, trying to process what he was saying, Brock admitted that he had been deeply afraid at the prospect of becoming a father again, so much so that he questioned whether he even deserved to be one. In his fear, he had chosen to sleep with another woman. "I use the word chose because it was very much a conscious decision. No one twisted his arm or dragged him into bed," Scheana said, emphasizing that this wasn't a mistake or accident but a deliberate betrayal. The weight of Brock's admission hit Scheana hard. She described how a deep fury bubbled inside her, but she struggled to keep it in check to avoid waking their daughter, who was sleeping nearby. "Our daughter," she added. "His baby, whom I'd been carrying while he was in bed with another woman." Overcome by anger and nausea, Scheana began pacing the room, feeling as if she might vomit. In a moment where her emotions spilled over, she slapped Brock and threw a Rubik's Cube at him, which he managed to dodge. Brock then shared more details, explaining that he had known the other woman before he and Scheana got together and had reconnected with her at an F45 gym while Scheana was pregnant. This added an extra layer of betrayal for Scheana, who found it hard to understand how Brock could have managed the affair given that she had access to his location data at the time. That same night, Brock handed Scheana a letter he had written in 2022, a full year before he confessed. In this letter, he had documented how many times he had been intimate with the other woman and where it had happened. The existence of this letter made the revelation even harder for Scheana to process, as it proved Brock had carried the weight of this secret long before deciding to come clean. Through it all, Scheana's heartbreak was mixed with disbelief and anger. The betrayal cut even deeper because it happened while she was bringing their daughter into the world. This period, which should have been filled with love and anticipation, had been stained by an act of infidelity she never suspected. Scheana's willingness to share her painful story publicly has sparked conversations among fans about trust, forgiveness, and the reality of relationships in the public eye. Despite the hurt, Scheana's openness reveals her strength and vulnerability, showing how even in moments of heartbreak, there can be a search for understanding, healing, and honesty. For now, the path forward for Scheana and Brock remains uncertain, but her story stands as a raw reminder of how deeply infidelity can wound, and how complex it can be to face the truth, even when it comes from the person you love most.